I have a plan. I really like the planet piece of art I made yesterday, and I have some silicone left, although it looks like my tips are plugged. I have some silicone left in the bottom of the cups that I didn't use to do today's landscape, and my intention is to use it by just adding a few colors that I like, little by little. I didn't actually want them all the same though, but trying to deviate is not always easy for me, because I like what I like, and I've said that before. So I'm probably going to give these a little bit of a stir around, and this is going to be stage one, no doubt about it, because if this works out, I will be able to come back, peel them off, and adhere them to a painting, and I can cut them any size I want, and that is my plan. I don't know if I want to continue to add a lot of paint, because I don't really want to waste it, but I don't generally waste it anyway. I find a use for it somewhere, some way. So let's not worry about that right now. Let's just continue on. Do some things that are different than each other. As long as it looks good, I'm happy. I don't want to overdo the blue, because that seems to be my problem. Ooh, here's a color I never use. It's a color shift yellow, and I don't know what it's going to do because I don't use it. But it's time to find out. I'm still in the same color palette. Okay, well, never mind. This is, unless it needs to be shaken. Let's shake it. Yeah, it looks okay. That's metallic black. I like it better when it's in the squeeze bottle, because then I can add it to my mix with some force, and the force itself mixes the silicone in with things very nicely. Let's just be obnoxious. Ooh, that was way more obnoxious than I had planned. Okay, well, never mind. We didn't do any of this recently. You never know what you're going to get. I didn't use any of that over there. That ought to fix anything. I love that color. And almost ready to go. I know somebody who loves that color. I do too. Let's just... That's not what I had in mind, but that's okay. We're going to add... I can throw all these together in the end. Now, if I just dollop those out with the spoon that I've lost and can't find, that's not good. That's really what I want to do. I want to dollop them out with the spoon that I had cleaned. Maybe it's in the bucket. Look at that, it's in the bucket. That's the only other place it should be, is in the bucket. I think that right there needs a little more of that. Okay, now, there was silicone in the bottom, I said. If I was concerned about it, I would probably throw a little more on top. Come on. And I am just going to spoon. Oh, really? Okay. Well, that was interesting. I don't often spill paint. And I didn't spill much. I'm going to take some of this and some of that. No edge catchers, but there is a straw, so let's see what happens. The way I figured this out is because a lot of times you'll dump your paint off skins and it doesn't look like anything, and then you come back and it's amazing. So why not try for amazing out of the gate? And I hate dumping paint from one thing to another usually, but this is the exception to that process, because I want to see what it does And if I don't like it, I'm going to spoon a little more on there. And maybe a little more still. And then if it seems like a good idea, I know it's going to fall in the groove unless I tip it way sideways. But you can see over here what I'm talking about. That's okay. It's maybe not my favorite. But I can also take what's on the spoon and I can see, whether you can see it or not is beyond me. I'd like to take a torch to that right now just to see what'll happen. Or we'll melt the cap, you know, one or the other. Turn it down a little. Yep, I don't want to make that too hot. I have lots more. I like that red in there. Let's do this one. Just spooning it on, letting it do its thing. Wow, that is some cool thing. And I have a palette knife right here. So if I want to catch some of that, put it down somewhere else, I can. And that's what happens when you do that. You can actually spread an entire pattern. But I'm going to keep doing this because this is awesome. And I hate wasting paint. I mentioned that. Just run it right around in a circle. And then when I have the right amount of paint left on there, I'm still not convinced I need silicone for everything. There's some really nice pearls in there. I don't know if you can see them or not. And blowing works. And fingers work. The paint will do a certain amount of self-leveling. That is pretty. And I want to torch it. I also want to leave that away. I suppose I could go around the edge and scrape some paint back on off my palette knife. Do it again. Hoping to not melt the cap. It shouldn't heat up that fast right through the paint, you don't think? It kind of looks like I bowed the middle, but I guess we'll find out together. I'm going to take my spatula and take all the paint left out of my spoon. And then I'm going to take a different one because I'm tired of that one. Just pick up the colors that I like and put them down where I like. That's how spooning works. And I know that there's probably going to be a lot more than I can utilize on there, but I just saw how well that palette knife worked and I liked it. I'm just going to flip that over. We have several more of these. Ooh, that's such a nice color to waste. You know what else I want to do? Check this out. I'm going to do it too. Let's do a dip. Yeah, that's a good planet. That is so awesome. Check that out. I hate myself for loving dips, but they are so cool. How can you not love that? That's so cool. I'm ashamed. Okay, no. I got the one next to it hot. And luckily I don't need that little thumbnail I made up for my landscape anymore. I know people are going to say, you know, there isn't that much control still, but at least you can see your colors and decide what goes where and give it a try, which is not something that happens with a regular acrylic pour. I can't wait to see what these things look like dry. And I just want to dip everything. You know, I can move that sideways and pull it back. And I did melt the top, kind of. Whoops. And I'm just going to let that run off. even though I liked it, because I want to see what it'll do if I let it run off. This is probably the only time I've given myself this kind of permission to be this random and accidental. I'm lying. Not true. I don't like this one. I'm not sure I like much of the beginnings. I think because I have that right there, I can put that right in there. See what'll happen. And let the excess run off. Got some thick stuff going on in there. And I could actually put some black right on my palette knife. Swipe across. Ew, we're making muck. I don't know if that'll be alright or not. But it's not that much, so I'm okay with it. That's kind of cool. That's going in a bucket right after I take out the Frugal Acrylic Artist. The rest of that paint. And if you always put your tools in your bucket, they will be there for you to use again. There's my spoon. I love that little pattern right there. I wish I could keep it. Sometimes I can. That is exactly why I did this. Because when I find a pattern I want to keep, there's no other way to do it than to leave the paint thick or spoon it in place. This could be a really long, chatty, no finished, unfinished. But you know, I'm making planets, so I'm going to go in there again. Take that. And I'm going to put it down over here. Yep, I'll be doing something with that paint later today because there's way more of it than I want. Oh, I love that orange. Okay, I'm just going to let that go all the way across. That right there, that is spectacular. That definitely looks like a planet to me. I don't even want to torch that, especially since I melted the last couple. But it's a new thing. I'm not going to want to trim them down either, I can tell you that right now. I said I would get my butane torch out, and I think it's a really good idea. Because I am working on plastic and I will melt it. And there's only one left. And then I'm going to download this. That is so cool. Okay. If that were left to become a skin. And honestly, I can probably salvage any of these to make skins if I wanted to do jewelry. And that would be pretty spectacular. I've got to think right now. Whatever you do, don't be afraid of the paint. Because once you figure out what not to do, you start to figure out what you do want to do. You just pull that right up out of there and salvage it. And I have a couple of more cups. This one is done. I say that now, but then I will pull out something cool from the bottom. And I will use my rag to wipe. And I like that. I don't like it as much as I was hoping to. So let's just go in there and see what we can do. Pull that up out of there. Put it over here. Sure we come around, tap 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 if we want. I don't want any of that to fall off. I don't think I can keep it from happening though. I could probably spiral a few things in there. I'm not going to do that. There's only one of these I hate, and that's that one. And what I want to do with that is go get another top. But what I'm going to do with it is something else. Okay, I'm going to put some of that right there, some of that right there, and I'm going to pour off whatever I need to. Creative colors. right back into a cup. Got to admit, I'm pretty good with a spatula. Let's see if we can rescue this, because by leaving one ugly, that means that all that paint is going to get a chance to get wasted, and I don't want to do that. I think I'm just going to catch that right there, put it back over here. And once I peel it up, I can cut the edges off, so I'm not worried about that. And all this needs to get covered, because I'm going to go in the house, offload everything on my camera, and those are cool. And if I heat that too much up, we know what's going to happen. I'm going to see smoke, and I'm going to be inhaling plastic. Okay, so there we go. I'd have to lift the whole tile up to show you. I wonder if I can show you one. What's a cool one? That's a cool one. Can't wait to see how that dries. Anyway, that's all for now. Have a good one, and we'll see you again soon.